While brushing her teeth in the morning, Nora feels something strange around her. Sensing danger, she begins to look around carefully. Then, what she sees makes her heart turn cold. In reality, Nora is currently several thousand feet below the ocean, where sunlight has never reached to this day. At such depths of the sea, the water pressure is so immense that it can crush a human body and dissolve it into the water in less than a second. A base or station has been built in this very place to conduct research on the ocean, and that is where these people live. Nora explains that after living at such depths for months, it becomes difficult to understand whether it is day or night outside. Sometimes, it even becomes hard to distinguish between a dream and reality, but still, they have to perform their duty. Nora is just sharing these thoughts when suddenly the lights of the entire base begin to blink strangely. To see what is happening, Nora puts on her jacket and moves forward. It is then that she discovers water is leaking from above, and seeing this sight, her heart turns completely cold. At such ocean depths, the water pressure is so high that it can crush human bones into powder in a single second. But Nora cannot even think much about it before the wall of the base suddenly breaks and water starts rushing in. To save her life, Nora runs with all her might toward the other corridor and tries to wake up the other sleeping crew members. Seeing such a terrifying scene, everyone present there begins to run behind Nora, screaming. After much effort, they manage to reach another room. However, the door system of that room had failed. Therefore, it was not locking in any way. Without wasting time, Nora quickly begins to fix the door's security system with her hands. Then she sees several crew members running toward them, fighting the water to save their lives. Nora shouts at them to run even faster, but before they can reach the door, the ocean water swallows them completely. Seeing this horrific sight, one of them tells Nora to close the door quickly, otherwise, everyone will die. Finally, Nora presses the button again, and with a loud sound at the last moment, the gate closes. In just a few seconds, everything becomes strangely quiet again. After a while, one of their companions, Rodrigo, says that perhaps a massive earthquake must have occurred. Otherwise, such a thing happening is difficult. After this, they try to contact the control room, but there is no response from there. This meant their entire connection with the control room was broken. At that same moment, they hear a heart-wrenching, strange sound. It feels to them as if some very large, mysterious object is moving inside the water outside the base, and is attacking the walls of the base with its sharp claws. Thinking that the danger might increase, Nora and Rodrigo set out toward the pods without delay. Passing through the broken base, they somehow reach the server room and begin to fix the damaged communication system. But then, that same scary loud sound is heard again from nearby. Now they begin to suspect that this cannot be an ordinary earthquake. Nora checks the system data and sees that the entire base has collapsed like a house of cards. Only a few parts are somehow holding on. After this, Nora and Rodrigo move forward to go toward the escape pod. Crawling through the broken base, they try to find a way. Then someone screams from behind in a painful voice, "Save me!" Nora turns back to see that their companion Paul is trapped under the rubble. After much effort, Nora and Rodrigo together pull him out. Now all three begin moving toward the escape. The path ahead has become so narrow that they have to move by crawling. Nora is in the front. Suddenly, her eyes fall upon a dead body. That man's eyes were still open, and there was so much fear in them that it seemed he had seen something very terrifying just before dying. Seeing this sight, fear settles in their hearts that perhaps something terrible has awakened in the depths of the ocean, which is beyond human imagination. After many difficulties, they finally reach the pod room. But upon reaching the pod room, the ground slips from beneath their feet because not a single escape pod was left there. Only Captain Lucian was standing there, but he was trapped inside because the door was locked. Nora somehow opens the door from the outside. After coming out, the captain explains that all the pods that were there have been used to send the other crew members toward the surface of the water. Now they must reach the submersible room in some way. Nora tells the captain that almost the entire base is destroyed. They don't even know how many people are still alive, or whether they themselves will be able to survive or not. Nora then asks the captain what exactly is happening. Is this really an earthquake or something else? The captain says that in his life, he has seen something like this for the first time, but now they must face this situation together. After this, they go toward the control room where Emily and Smith were already trying to contact the outside world. But no signal was being received from anywhere. Moreover, the control room was repeatedly experiencing shocks, as if some very large thing from outside was trying to push the entire base upward. Nora checks the system and reports that all the upper floors and the cooling tower of the base have been completely destroyed. But the real danger is the base's core, which provides power supply to the entire base. It could explode at any moment. If the core explodes, the blast will be so terrifying that in an instant, the entire research space will turn to ash. Now they have no way left to escape, because the remaining escape pods have already broken and been destroyed. When everyone begins to lose hope, accepting their certain death, the captain says that they have one last chance. They must go to the deepest part of the base where drilling work was going on. Perhaps they might find a pod there. Hearing this talk from the captain, Paul says that the drilling site is about 1.5 km away from here. In such conditions, how will they reach there? During this conversation, Smith receives the last signal from the drilling site. But hearing it, everyone's voice goes dry with fear. Because in Kogu's signal, only the painful screams of people and the scary sound of some terrifying animal could be heard. Meanwhile, suddenly the whole base starts shaking strangely again. It feels as if some demon hidden in the darkness wants to break the entire station like a toy. Paul says despondently that they should not have drilled to such depths. Perhaps they have awakened some devil that should not have been provoked. Having no other way, everyone puts on heavy underwater suits. Now these suits were the last hope of their lives. But as soon as they step into the depths of the ocean, a crack suddenly appears in Rodrigo's helmet. With the terrifying pressure of the water, in the blink of an eye, his entire body is shattered to pieces. Seeing such a painful death of their companion, no one is able to compose themselves. When Nora looks toward this dark, deep sea, she feels that this silence is more terrifying than space. Carrying the grief of losing a companion and the fear of death, they somehow jump onto the roof of the cargo lift and get inside. Then the captain tells everyone that they must get away from this base as quickly as possible, because it can explode like a volcano at any time. After this, the lift begins to descend even deeper into the sea. Then a distress signal from a pod appears on the lift screen. The captain quickly stops the lift and tells Paul and Smith to find whoever is sending this signal and bring them back. Both put on heavy underwater suits again and descend into the water. But it is so pitch black outside that even with the suit's light, nothing is clearly visible. Moving forward, Smith feels that something is perhaps following them in the darkness. They somehow reach the pod from where the signal had come, but going closer, they see that the entire path is covered with some strange, sticky substance. They had never seen such a thing before. Finding no one inside the pod, they begin searching around. Then they find the dead body of one of their companions entangled in cables. Seeing this, the captain immediately orders them to come back inside. But at that same time, Paul and Smith see that something is moving alive inside that dead body's back. Before they could understand anything, a strange animal comes out of the back with the speed of lightning and attacks Paul. However, Smith somehow kills that small creature. Taking that creature with them, they return to the lift. Paul says that this creature was tearing and eating that dead body. When Emily sees the creature, she sees sharp, pointed claws around it. Then Emily says that perhaps during drilling, they have accidentally opened a hole where strange and dangerous creatures lived before, and now because of them, they have become angry. While Emily is saying this, suddenly all the lights of the lift go out. Nora somehow starts fixing the system again. But as the lift descends, some large creature starts pushing it hard from outside. Then Paul's eyes fall on the same small creature kept on the table. He begins to think whether its mother is outside. Perhaps they have made a very big mistake. Amidst terrifying jolts, everyone inside the lift stands silent like stones. There is such deep silence all around that they can even hear their heartbeats clearly. At that same moment, when the captain shines the torchlight on the glass of the lift's roof, suddenly a giant creature attacks that glass hard, and it looked like some demon-like human. Everyone gets very scared. Then the very next moment, a loud explosion occurs in the upper part of the base. The light is so bright that it feels as if the sun has suddenly come out in the depths of the sea. Due to the shock of this blast, the thick cables of the lift break and the lift begins to fall rapidly. Therefore, everyone quickly puts on their helmets. Before the lift hits the seabed, they jump out. But due to the explosion, heavy iron pieces of the bridge and debris from above begin to fall like rain. To save their lives, supporting each other, everyone somehow runs to reach the door of the drilling chamber. There is deep darkness all around, and in that darkness, some strange shadows are visible. On the other hand, the door of the drilling chamber has also jammed. After much effort, they somehow get inside. Then a scary sound is heard from above again. The captain explains to everyone, saying that perhaps this is the sound of broken parts of the base falling from above. After this, they begin to move slowly inside that tunnel-like chamber. As they were moving forward, the path was becoming narrower. Reaching one place, they find that the path ahead is completely blocked by debris. Then Nora gathers courage and says that she will swim underwater to reach the other side. She wears her helmet properly, dives into the water, and swims to the other side. Reaching there, she signals the others to come as well. One by one, everyone reaches the other side. But in the end, Paul is left behind. Then Paul feels that someone is present in the dark water behind him. As soon as he looks back, a strange creature disappears into the water. The captain calls out to him repeatedly, but there is no response from Paul's side. Forced, everyone catches the cable attached to Paul's suit and pulls it hard. After some time, Paul comes back to them, and everyone breathes a sigh of relief. But the very next moment, some invisible force pulls Paul's cable from the other side with great strength. Out of fear, Paul begins to scream. Everyone else starts trying to cut the cable in panic. But by then, it was too late. In the blink of an eye, a part of Paul's body is separated from him. Suddenly, Paul's helmet fills with blood, and his painful death occurs right there. Seeing this, the rest start running from there to save their lives in fear and terror. After some time, the captain tries to contact the upper world again through the radio, but there is no response from there. After Paul's death, everyone is completely broken. One by one, their companions were being killed at the hands of some invisible power. Then they are standing in a control room from where the scary view outside is clearly visible. Their base station's drilling machine is lying so badly twisted and broken, as if someone had broken it like a toy. Smith says in surprise, "Is it really possible for a drilling machine weighing 6,000 tons to be destroyed in this way?" Emily says, trembling, that all this is their fault. They have provoked the depths of the ocean, and now the ocean is taking revenge on them. Perhaps they should never have come here. The captain calms everyone down, saying they should not stay here for long. But Smith says that his suit is damaged, and if he goes outside, he won't be able to withstand the water pressure. Therefore, he tells the rest to leave him and move forward. Smith says if he goes along, everyone's life could be in danger. But the captain encourages him and somehow fixes his suit. After this, everyone sets out through the water toward the drilling site because perhaps escape pods can be found there. There is thick darkness all around under the water. Then Nora feels that someone is behind her. She turns on the torch and looks, but she sees no one. Still, a strange fear remains in her mind. She repeatedly feels that someone is passing very close to her. Suddenly, a strange creature swims past in front of Nora. Seeing this, everyone starts looking here and there in the darkness in fear. The captain immediately orders everyone to turn off the suit lights. During this, they find that Smith is nowhere to be seen. Everyone starts searching for him. Then Nora sees that some strange thing is dragging Smith away. Nora gathers courage and goes after that creature. That strange creature drags Smith inside a narrow cave. Without wasting a single moment, the captain enters that cave. After going quite deep, the captain finds Smith. Luckily, Smith is still alive. The captain pulls him out. But after a while, the captain remembers that Smith's gun has been left inside the cave. So he goes back inside the cave to retrieve the gun. But as soon as he starts to return, a terrifying monster suddenly emerges from the depths of the cave, catches the captain, and starts pulling him upward. Due to being entangled in the cable of the captain's suit, Nora also starts being pulled upward with him. Struggling underwater, the captain and that strange creature crash into a large platform. Seeing the captain hanging at the edge of the platform, Nora tries to save him. Then that terrifying creature appears before them again. It was so massive that it seemed as if it was not a creature of this world. It opens its giant mouth and tries to swallow Nora's helmet. At that same time, the captain takes out his knife and strikes the monster. Writhing in pain, that creature pulls both Nora and the captain upward at a fast speed. The captain realizes that if they continue to go up at this speed, their suits will burst from the terrifying pressure of the water. So he tells Nora to cut the cable, otherwise she will also die. But Nora is not ready to do so. Then, forced, the captain himself cuts the cable with his knife and separates himself. As soon as she is separated, the very next moment, the captain dies in a terrifying explosion. In that blast, his suit and body are scattered in the water. Due to the shock of that explosion, Nora falls down to the seabed in an abandoned part of the base. That place is completely deserted and silent. Going inside somehow, Nora breaks down mentally because she does not know if Smith and Emily are alive or not. She keeps trying to contact Emily and Smith like a mad person via radio, but there is no response. Then Nora somehow fixes an old suit from some equipment lying above, puts it on, and descends into the water again so she can find Emily and Smith. Then Emily's voice is heard on the radio. At that same time, Nora sees the light of Emily's suit shining in the distant darkness. Reaching there with great difficulty, Nora sees that Emily is dragging Smith forward because Smith was very badly injured. Nora calms Emily, and both of them together start moving toward that deep darkness, pulling Smith. The atmosphere all around is very scary. Every moment it feels as if some terrifying shadow is hiding and watching them. After losing many companions, they finally reach the drilling site. But upon reaching there, instead of being happy, they become even more terrified. Because to reach the main gate of the drilling site, a bridge-like path has to be crossed. And on that entire bridge, thousands of dangerous creatures are lying in deep sleep. If they have to reach the main gate, they will have to pass right by these creatures. And if even one of them wakes up, in a moment, thousands of animals can tear and eat them. Having no other way, they start moving forward slowly. But unfortunately, a creature suddenly wakes up and attacks Nora. Nora shouts at Emily to run away from there immediately. That creature opens its giant mouth and tries to swallow Nora. But instead of being afraid, Nora shows courage and shoots inside the creature's stomach with her gun. Writhing in pain, that creature dies right there. After this, Nora tears its body and somehow comes out. But by then, all the other monsters around start waking up. Seeing this, Nora is about to reload her gun when she suddenly sees that the entire platform where these creatures were hanging upside down rises up and disappears into the darkness. At that same time, Nora sees a giant shadow standing on top of the building in front. When she looks carefully to fire at that shadow, her heartbeat almost stops. A demon-like sea monster stands before her. It was so giant that even a 50-story building looked like a toy in front of it. To save her life, Nora runs toward the main gate with all her strength. That giant monster attacks the bridge so hard with its foot that it feels as if an atomic bomb has exploded underwater. Due to the shock of that blast, Nora is thrown far away and becomes unconscious. The next moment, Emily drags Nora inside the main gate and quickly closes the door. Smith, Nora, and Emily somehow manage to come inside, but the danger was not over yet. That giant monster starts trying to uproot the entire drilling site building from the ground. Somehow, they move forward and reach the pod room. There are 3 pods in total. Nora quickly checks and finds that only 2 of them are working properly. Therefore, without wasting time, Nora and Emily first place Smith in a working pod and send him upward. After this, Nora tells Emily to sit in the second pod. But Emily realizes that the remaining pod is broken. Therefore, she is not ready to leave Nora alone and go. Then Nora explains to her, saying that she has a whole future with Smith. Therefore, she must go. Emily says, crying, that Nora must return. She will wait for her. Saying this, Nora launches Emily's pod. Now, Nora is the only one left in the entire base. At that same time, small creatures start attacking the glass walls of the pod room from outside. Nora checks the system and sees that thousands of strange creatures are chasing Smith and Emily's pods. Nora takes a deep breath and overloads the base's power core with her own hands. With this, the self-destruct mode of the entire base station is activated. As soon as the few seconds of countdown end, a terrifying explosion occurs there. This blast is so powerful that even that giant sea monster is unable to survive.